We have in one place that full money management platform combined with the marketplace and now with Pay. So it kind of has in one place everything that you need to manage your money.
But also in the app, we really make a conscious decision, okay, at what moment are we going to use a gradient? And at what moment are we using a flat color, or do we have a different color scheme?
Today I'm joined by Malina Ciolpan and Daniel Kolkman, Senior Product Owner and Designer at Yolt, respectively. Thank you guys for coming on today. How are you both?
Super excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We're excited for having you guys. So let's just jump straight in.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourselves, what you guys do at Yolt.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can start and then you can continue. I'm Malina, product enthusiast. I worked in different environments from an NGO level to ING for 7 years, and then I joined Yolt in the fintech world. So I was very excited to move from a corporation to the fintech world in a super dynamic, enthusiastic environment. Also really customer centric. So I was excited to join actually a year ago as a product owner for 2 of the feature teams. I'm the product owner of the onboarding team, so more the onboarding journey of the users in the app, and the payments team, hence my presence here.
So I'm a designer. I did some jobs in some agencies. So I worked 3 or 4 years at the agency. I worked on loyalty schemes, banking, insurances. But because it's an agency, you jump from project to project. And I really want to focus, okay, I want to have one single product where you can build upon, with you can talk with users to improve it. So that's what the moment was when I switched to Yolt. So now they're more than a year now. One of the designers in the full design team. So yeah.
Nice.
Happy to be here.
I think let's especially for the newbies and the young sort of tech enthusiasts trying to get into tech. You guys have both very interesting journeys into tech. You know, you talk about your corporate journey and how you are now in sort of tech and how you felt you liked the change from that. And you were talking about agency and how you wanted to focus more on the product. We'd love to get from both of you sort of the pros and cons of where you've come from and why you sort of see yourself now, and just kind of your journey here, and talk to us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so I was mentioning that before Yolt I was in ING, and indeed 7 years there I worked in the product domain on the payment side, and also in the change management, so a lot connected to agile implementation and see how a corporation can be more agile and more innovative, and that's how I basically end up with Yolt, because we realized that a lot of the things that we're doing as ING were towards bringing more innovation, and Yolt was one of the examples. I think one of the key things for me is the fact that I learned everything about the financial industry from ING, but the thing that I was definitely missing was that dynamic environment and that fast-paced place, and Yolt definitely has that. And the fact that I bring the payments perspective into Yolt is also helping a lot, because we developed the payment proposition in the last 6 months. We launched it in March.
Nice.
And
you
For me, I worked a lot of, because I said I worked a lot of different projects, and one of the reasons is because I was consultant as well, so you switch between projects, and you don't have the full control as well on, okay, I really want to improve the experience on this kind of level. So you're consulting people, but you're not executing it. And the change, especially here with Yolt, okay, you have full control over the full journey. So you have full research, you do all the implementation, you make sure, okay, the full journey is end to end as you want it. So that's and you can build upon that. So that for me was the big part that basically I want to improve. Okay, I want to build. If I have something, how can I improve it? If I have something, how can I improve it? So keep iterating based on the product.
Nice.
And that for me was very important.
Could you guys just help give our users a brief overview on what Yolt is? Where the product has come from, and where you guys are right now.
Yeah, so I can start. Maybe you can add. Yolt is a money management app. We're trying to become a smart platform for money management, and trying to see how we can tap into those customer needs on money management, but also overall being the one money app that you need. I think we have evolved a lot from being an aggregator that we have launched 2 years ago, in being now a payment initiator. So adding that kind of dynamic element. You're not just viewing things in Yolt, but you also take actions related to this. So I think we have evolved a lot, and now the marketplace, which is also an element integrated in it, helps the user to take those kind of actions connected to whatever insights we can give them.
Yeah, no, I think especially from a user journey point of view, yes, indeed we started with the aggregation, so you have all the accounts connected. But for us it's really important, okay, how can we build upon the next level? So how can we build smart insights and actionable insights? So the user really knows, okay, I can do something with this, with my money, as in I have multiple accounts, but okay, what do I do with it? So for us it's really important that not only we have account aggregation, but also customer insights, really smart and actionable topics that the user can do upon his financial situation.
Nice, nice. And to sort of take a step back to what you guys were talking about earlier, you said your product teams are kind of broken down into, how are your product teams broken down? Is it, you know, you were talking about how you work on payments, so we'd just like to get like an overview of how that works.
So maybe I can start because we work in the same teams actually, so that's good. But I can start to explain a bit that we work in feature teams. The feature teams are pretty small and dynamic, so we basically have the front-end developers, back-end developers, UX designers, so Daniel in this case, and a customer journey that helps in defining the user journey. And we really work end-to-end, so from design and concepting together with the users to really developing it with the full back-end front-end developers and really testing it with our users. So it's great to actually be in a place that you can do that end-to-end rather than just starting a journey and then afterwards somebody else implements it and you don't know what happened to it. So me being the product owner, I'm connected to those kind of teams, and then Daniel I think also has another team he's part of.
There's basically on top of that. So we have the feature teams already, and we have basically on top of that we have the full design experience group, which basically includes the product designers and also the journey user journey experts. So they basically look at more, okay, how is the data, and the designer basically, okay, how do we implement it? How do we make sure that the full journey is how we want it? So those that team basically is across Yolt, and that also delivers into the feature team. So we talk basically daily already. So we sit at the next desk to each other. So we communicate every time, and also when we did some testing or when something new is coming up, we directly put that into the team. So we see that it's a really iterative process, which we basically build upon. So for us it's really flexible and really fast paced, so we can really deliver some.
I think it's. I find it interesting that you guys have like a design layer on top of it, because I think what sometimes happens when you have like these piecemeal product team, feature teams, is that the journeys don't always feel as cohesive. So I guess like your overall layer design team kind of ensures that each feature team gets that coherent design.
Yeah, no, that's exactly that. So if we see, okay, one specific feature moves to a different direction, then okay, how can we include this in the overall picture so that every feature feels Yolt and breathes Yolt. Also from the design point of view, visual design, how do we make sure that everything is the same and aligned also across multiple touch points. So it's for us it's really important to have that overall idea, so everybody thinks about the overall idea, so not really one is specific for one specific feature.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Also we want to ask you about which demographics have you found using Yolt? Is it particularly young? Is it just all over the place? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting that Yolt was not designed in order to be on specific demographics. We designed it more in like having the user in mind and what are their needs, their gains and pains, and trying to see how we can focus on that. If you're asking us specifically, I think it's very diverse. So we saw different ages, different just income levels, different nationalities. So that was really great to actually see that Yolt is for different users. Not for only the young people. And I think we see in terms of kind of different features that we offer and solutions. For example, an overview on all the accounts is for users that have more bank accounts. A categorization, for example, is for users that don't know really what they're spending their money on. So it helps them to know how to reduce certain budgets. Also the marketplace to be able to compare different kind of energy deals. So we see that we tap in different kind of needs that's across demographics.
And how do you find designing for all of these sort of various demographics?
It's super interesting because you have a very broad user base. So for us it's not mere, okay, we don't have a specific target in mind, we want to have everybody, okay, everybody has their financial situation, and how can we improve upon that? So you have multiple facets within there. So for us it's more, okay, how can we cover basically the full design base? So we have a specific journeys, okay, now how can we customize it, how can we make a specific journey for that specific user? So overall, the overall idea of Yolt should be to help everybody, whatever is situation they're in. That's why we have specific journeys and we follow that through.
And have you found yourself having to make any particular design decision because it might affect a particular age range differently, or like maybe even just like illustrations? Do you find yourself trying to designed specifically in order to like incorporate all, or not to try and alienate one particular kind of demographic?
No, especially no, because we want to have the full Yolt experience across. So for us, it doesn't matter. The illustration itself, the look and feel. Okay, we should allow for everybody to make feel positive vibe and get fresh and get in touch with their money. So also for us it's really important to have that overall look and feel, so it doesn't have specific for one specific target.
Makes sense. Also something like real design specific gradients. So gradients are like something they've had like a long history in design where people like crazy over them and then people are less crazy over them, and we're kind of in this like flat space right now. Flat colors, maybe dash a little bit of gradients every now and again. But you guys have seemed to like really make gradients at like the forefront of your design on your cards, in your illustrations. Could you talk to us about like that design decision where you guys have chosen to do that?
No, definitely, because the gradient is part of the Yolt logo already, so that naturally follows through in all our communications and all our illustrations. But also, on social media and all the marketing stuff, we use a lot of gradients. It's more vibrant, it's colorful, it's fresh, and also the appearance that we want to have. But also in the app, we really make a conscious decision. Okay, at what moment are we going to use gradients, and at what moment are we using a flat color, or do we have a different color scheme? So for us, it's really important if we have a lot of information, because it's always financial data. So how do we make it structured, and how can we make it in this way that the user can see the benefit directly first? How can he structure it very clearly? How can he, this is what I need to do. So gradients help in that, so we really make a decision, okay, at this point here we can use a gradient, and some levels we just tone it down maybe a bit. We don't go full over. So for us it's really important, okay, where's the balance in between the two? Gradients are part of our color scheme, and we like them. But it helps also for some information to digest. So in that case, it's really part of our culture as we.
And I guess it helps you stand out, when everyone else has sort of like tended towards these really flat color designs. For you guys to kind of come and just say, hey, we're going to be vibrant, use these like really strong gradients. And
no, definitely. So we try to use them when the right need is there. So indeed for buttons or something, we can make, of course, there's a broad palette that we can use. But we like to, we want to contain the Yolt brand overall. So that means, we cannot use it everywhere. But we need to make very conscious decisions, because it's your data. So you need to be able to scan it very quickly and help them no matter what style you have.
No worries. And similar products, who are the guys that you guys feel in the market you compete with, and what sets you apart from them?
Yeah, so I think it's a pretty busy market out there. It's starting to be even more crowded. I think overall we're very excited about all the innovations that come, because we see in the last 2 years that how the market just grew overall in the sector because of that. So we are proud that we were the first ones that actually worked on open banking connections, and that's one of the things that we can say that is dear to our heart, and we continue that, and I think Yolt Pay in that case it continues. I think one of the key elements to us is the fact that we have in one place that full money management platform combined with the marketplace and now with Pay. So it kind of has in one place everything that you need to manage your money. But I think one of the key things for us that differentiates is really how the users are in the center point of the product. So I still remember when we came here to discuss about Yolt Pay for the first time, we showed designs to our users and how the interactions went with them. So we really take them from designs and concepting to everything that we have, for example, in the Facebook group. Now we have a really exciting Facebook group. You see that user like help each other saying, okay, did you see that they have this new feature? So that's really exciting to us. We have all the events and meetups together with them. So everything, for example, we launched 3 new banks on Yolt Pay a month ago, and they tested it first, for example, on the Facebook group, and then they send us their feedback, we implemented some things, and then we launch it fully. So that's really, for us, it's really exciting to see how much they're connected to what we do.
So that's an interesting point. Do you, when you go for user testing, do you reach out to your Facebook group first, or?
Yeah, so it depends. If it's in design, we go either to users that have not used Yolt or users that actually use Yolt and want to come, for example, for meetings with us to give us feedback on the journey. But for example, when we launched that new banks that were connected, we announced them, okay, who wants to connect first? So they were the first ones to test it. They gave their feedback. If they had something, we improved it, and then just I think 2 weeks later or something, we fully launched it. So So it's exciting to see actually how engaged they are.
But in general, also for the full, it depends really on the topic that you want to test.
Yeah.
So if you have really, okay, we have a broad idea and we want to test, okay, we think maybe this is a problem that we want to solve. Yeah. Okay, how can we validate it? So we have different kind of sessions basically. So first, okay, this is really a problem that we see with the users.
Yeah.
And if we see that, okay, let's go to the next phase. What can we do for this specific use? And that basically iterates across the timeline basically. So yeah, there's different versions on where the product stands, what we need to check, and later we want to evolve as much as people as we can, of course. So therefore also the Facebook group. And yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah.
That's exciting stuff. We've heard about it so much thus far, so I think like by now it's time to really get stuck into the poster child. So we're going to look at Yolt's new payment. So what you guys should be seeing on the screen here is the payment page. What you guys can do is does it work between just your bank accounts that you've set up on Yolt?
And transfer money to friends and family.
Okay, and is that live now as well?
Yes, definitely. That's why you have the address book there also,
Firstly, before we get into like the nitty gritty, can we talk about Yolt Pay and how sort of like PISPs looks for you guys?
Yeah, I think for us it was natural just element after launching the aggregation part to be able to actually work on payment initiation elements. Again, it's a payment initiation part, so you could see also in the screens that you're redirected to the banking app or the banking environment. But for us was just a natural element because we wanted to become the One Money app, and you cannot become the One Money app without a payments element in it. So that's why we're excited to actually be the first ones to launch it.
How have you guys gone around making it feel secure? What design decisions, what product, what sort of copy have you guys chosen to kind of help users make themselves feel secure into integrating?
No, I think for us it's important to keep the familiar approach because everybody knows how to pay. Everybody has their own app. So for us, how can we make it so familiar that people are basically, if they start already, that they are basically already used to it. So for us it's, okay, we have the default design patterns that we use already. So in this case, we basically built around that. So we want to, if we want to integrate something new, we should be able to integrate it directly in there, and also directly. That's also part of. It's a big part of Yolt, is to test it. How can we test it to make it feel more secure, and how can we really make it sure? And one of the things is that if they do a payment, they get redirected towards their own banking app or website, which already is very familiar. They know the banking app. You can authenticate with your fingerprint and then go back. So that pattern already creates a sort of feeling, okay, this is secure, this is safe, I can use this, and it feels very natural because they're in their own environment. So that's really, for us, it's really a good experience. If they have, for example, the app-to-app redirect, they really love it.
That's interesting. And can we talk about design challenges when creating Yolt Pay? So did you take any sort of design patterns from, I guess, the more sort of popular challenges? So what challenges did you find yourselves when creating Yolt Pay?
Yeah, now for us it's because Yolt Pay is an initiation service. So that first of all is already new compared to the others. So the challenge there, okay, how can we make sure that people know what to do? So for us, we did a lot of testing and see, okay, how can we explain to people, okay, that they need to authenticate at their bank. So therefore we need to create a copy, we need to create some illustration, then we need to create, okay, how can we, already before they do it, how can we explain, okay, what does the user need to do, and how can they do it? So those patterns, more explaining, tell them upfront what to do, and get real feedback also afterwards. So if they've done the payment, they get back to the Yolt app, how can we make sure that the payment is successful? Because it was an initiation. So therefore we need to have the status, okay, what happened with that payment at the bank? If something happened to the bank, what do we show in Yolt Pay? All those kind of confirmation and cancellation status, we need to implement, because that's something new that other parties don't directly have in that way. Like that.
And could I, because you were mentioning earlier about like how you've had to test it, could we talk about sort of what issues you came up with in testing, what you had to iterate on, and what hiccups you came up with initially?
No, I think because we had a lot of testing, and one of the things, we started with a very basic product, which is basically the Yolt Pay, and you can transfer. And what we saw directly, okay, if I need to type everybody in, so I expect to have there already an address book. So one of the things that we really came already in, okay, guys, we need to have an address book. And with the open banking, you can now have basically all the accounts in your address books, all the beneficiaries and all those there. So that was already something from testing that said, okay, this is already something that we need to have. But also on the very small level, as in the sort code. We first said, okay, we had the 6 digits. And we saw people, okay, we want to have it formatted. And that's something that already came out of, it's very small and very tangible, but to have it pre-formatted already for a user, saying, okay, I need just show the dashes there to show, okay, this is already the sort code. That already helps the user. So there are small things and big things that we came across. We try to improve as much as possible.
All of that. Yeah. Wow, that sounds really interesting. And now that you've sort of touched on contact, which was interesting for us to see, could you walk us through how that works? So, because what essentially you do is have an address book, which I guess for a lot of it is populated with sort of these users' account details, sort code. Where are they getting those account details from? Where are they getting the names from? Is it from your phone address book? Sorry, let me not impede on that, but can we walk through how that works?
So because through the APIs, we get all this information of your transactions and all the details. That's also one of the elements that we receive basically from the banks or through the APIs. We get the context that you have. So trusted beneficiaries or beneficiaries you saved either in your banking app, for example, or your environment, your banking environment. So we just import all that kind of data and we just arrange it so that you see it in an easy way. So that means that if you have 4 connections, for example, from 4 different banks, all that information is structured in one way. And I think the difference is also in user testing, we saw that we should put also your internal accounts there and the address book. So that's why you see both elements there, because they also expect if they transfer between the accounts that they tap onto the same field. And I think that was also one of the feedback we got in the user testing. Okay, put everything in one place, and I know if I tap there, then I have either my own accounts or the contacts that are coming from the banks.
And the contacts on that page, so someone not filled in, is that because that's from your address book, your phone address book?
We don't have any address book for now, so it's not from your phone necessarily, but is from your banking details. So nobody on your phone will be there unless they're already in your banking app and you save them as a trusted beneficiary. So if they're saved in your banking environment, it will be in the Yolt app.
Okay, sweet. And just to talk about sort of the future of pay, because exciting feature. I guess it's really setting you guys apart in the aggregator market. Where do you guys see yourself going with it next, and what's the future for pay?
Yeah, I think one of the key elements is we're really excited about open banking technology, so we're going to continue on that. We have right now 9 banks we connected, so we want to connect more APIs related to that. So that's one of the key elements. Also, we know the open banking brings other things in their different versioning of the API. So for example, recurrent payments or direct debit. So one of the things is we're looking, once they come up towards the end of the year, together with the users and Daniel and the team, we're really looking on how we can introduce those kind of elements. And overall, a part of the user feedback which we get on, okay, tweak this and maybe add that, is also having pay as a full payment proposition, because right now we have payment initiation, but what else is missing to actually be able to have a full structured payment proposition? So we're working on that, so that we're in the next 6 to 9 months you're going to hear from us with more things.
Exciting times. The next journey we guys have something like really subtle. It is the share account details, but something like I'm pretty interested in, and one of our UX designers was pretty intrigued by it. So it seems really simple at face. You jump, I believe you guys have seen the journey now. You click into an account, share your account details. Where it really intrigued us was these are things that you're not able to do on the initial banking app itself. And I want to know, where did this idea come from? Was this from users requesting it? Was this just because it's what we're kind of used to seeing on Monzo and Starling, etc., etc.? How did this sort of feature come about?
No, it started with when we did the beta for Yolt Pay. So we had a lot of sessions with users already, and we noticed that people basically they do share their account details. But the way how they did it. So they first basically they want to share, they get a card and they, oh shit, it's not on my card. So then they go to the banking app and they need to go make a screenshot there. And it's very cumbersome. You have fairly a lot of layers. So that's why we said, okay, we have the details from open banking. We have the accounts getting in. Let's just share it. So basically, when you go into the Yolt app, you already made a payment or not. You tap the account you want to share and you share with the specific channel you want to share it with. So if it's via WhatsApp or via Facebook. And the thing is, okay, you need to confirm confirm it also. So it's not directly that it's being sent, you always need to confirm it. So also there, the security and how can we make people comfortable, that basically have native components in there. So I can customize, I can put emojis there, I can put what I used to do. And send it directly via the right channel. So that is a part of the testing that we did, and therefore the features that we also implement in Yolt.
Once again, I find it like really interesting that, like I said, you can now add functionalities onto like banking apps which they don't have natively themselves. Is there any more scope for you guys to continue to do stuff like that? Do you have any stuff you could, secretly let us know that you're working on? What are restrictions that you guys have in terms of like working, like increasing functionality on that?
No, I think it's important that, of course we have the data that's coming through the APIs, but for us it's more, how do we put a layer on top of that? Because the details, I can see that in my default bank app, that's fine. But if I connect everybody, what can I do with that? What is the information that I see, and what are actionable insights? So therefore the Yolt, if I have multiple accounts, I can just go to Yolt, and therefore I see also the details that I need to do. So what are the actionable insights that I get, and what can I do with it? So also related to pay. Is there something that I need to pay directly, or do I need to save something, or do you say, hey, hold back, maybe you cannot pay this right now? So what are the level that you can do with the information that you get? That's something currently, we see on different apps, we see it coming back, but how do we make the next step? And now the combined view, how can we use that to make really your complete picture of your financial view? So that for us is really important, and that's the main thing that we want to focus on.
That's interesting. So we've talked a lot, like you just said, next step with how to integrate, how to sort of add layers of functionality onto the app, and where we're going with pay. What's your end goal from a product? When is the job's never done. It's fintech,
definitely.
But like, where like let's say the next 3 to 5 years, what is sort of like, I guess a good state for Yolt to be? Where do you guys see Yolt in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think it's mentioned everywhere. We really believe in that we want to be a smart money platform, and right now we have different elements out of it, as I mentioned. So you have the marketplace, you have the money management, you have the payments. So it's building on top of that and bringing new elements. So one of the things, as you mentioned, is a lot of innovations out there, a lot of new things coming up. So we're also looking what else are we missing in order to add and then increase that kind of value that we bring to our users. So definitely that's why I said in the next couple of months you'll hear from us, because we bring new elements to this platform.
Exciting stuff. And we've talked about pay, and I know it's hard to sort of be excited about anything else but pay right now. But is there, if we could get out of you, is there anything else that you are like super excited about in terms of Yolt?
No, I think we launched Payday. Because we see a lot of users, they have different cycles on how they get paid, and also how the app is used upon it. So I've set a budget for a certain time frame. So when I set a payday, you can see exactly, this is the time of month that my budget is going to expire. This is what I need to do for this specific time frame. And a lot of feedback that we got also is that my salary comes in next week, or very variant or different time frame basically that I get paid. So what we're going to introduce next is also, we have more options to set your payday. So whatever your account is coming on, or salary is coming on, you should be able to get that within the Yolt app. So you know exactly what to do at what moment, even though your salary is coming every week, for example. So that's something we're really excited to coming up. And also I think one of the main things is that we're partnering up with Racing. We're really excited about that. So that's coming up in the next month, and we're probably going to hear a lot more about this.
Can you talk more about who they are?
Yeah, sure. So Racing provides a savings account for users. So via the Yolt app, you can basically find your, what's my situation and what kind of savings account fits to that. So for a lot of users, I have a savings account, but what exactly fits my need? So combining the Yolt proposition with the Racing to find the right savings account for them gives a very clear image, and helps the user actually getting the best out of their money.
Exciting
times ahead. That's super exciting to
hope to have you guys back here to go through these journeys again. But that seems like all we have time for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Stop by next week for more insights and user journeys, and if you want to see more of 11FS Pulse, head over to pulse.11fs.com, where you can also request a demo. If you've got any questions about the product or want to suggest a journey for us to include on our platform or the show, hit us up on pulse@11fs.com or find us on Twitter at 11fspulse. Melina, Daniel, where can guys find more about you? Where can guys find more about you and Yolt? Feel free to throw the Twitter at and all of that.
Definitely we will. Yeah.
It's definitely on the Yolt.com, all the social media, you can find us, go to Yolt, and you'll find us there.
And don't forget guys, join the Facebook group as well, you want to get some exclusive testing as well.
Definitely.
But once again, that's all we have time for. We'll see you next week, and bye for now guys.
Thank you, bye.
Homescreen is a show all about product design, where we showcase some of the best examples of user experiences from the 11FS Pulse research platform. Pulse is what our customers use to do their benchmarking, and it includes over 2,500 user journeys from financial service products all around the world.